True.
Welcome. Hi. How are you, Paul?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
I mean, I exist in this world. I'll take it.
Yes, you do. All right.
Yeah, I persist somehow.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to Blacksburg on the Rocks. It's been an eventful few weeks for us, hasn't it, Paul?
It has. It has indeed. I am still, we have been doing this. Do we know, how many episodes is this? Do you know off the top of your
This
head?
is 35 episodes.
Okay. So we have done this for 35 episodes, and
Yeah.
every time we jump on here, immediately we have people logged in watching us. This just thank you to I know it's 11, but that's 12 now. That's 12 people that have nothing better to do tonight
Then to wait for the show start.
Yep.
It normally takes some time to get warmed up. But there are people that sit there and they're like, you know what?
Let's go.
You know what? We're ready.
Yeah,
we need our dose.
Something stupid. Let's go. Let's do this.
I mean, we're entertaining people, Paul. I don't blame them. I'm riveted by myself.
Sometimes I entertain myself. I do it a lot, actually. Most of the time, I kind of jump in there with just something stupid, You
have to. I mean, you got to entertain somebody, and oftentimes you're the only person you can entertain.
Yep, exactly. Sometimes I'll make Bridget laugh. Most of the time, she just rolls her eyes and shakes her head and scoffs at me. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I mean, my friends really enjoyed you. My friends from back home in Hayside.
Yes. I loved getting to meet all of your boys from back home. They all roll in and sit down, and I was like, so who's from Grundy and who's from Honaker? And they all looked at me. And of course, Marty starts laughing because Marty knows the joke.
He knows the joke.
Marty starts laughing, and they're all like, what?
Yeah, they had no clue what the joke was, but you know what?
It's all right.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, Paul pulled out all the classics. We got together before the Metallica show. We all went together. Me, Marnie, and Paul sat together. If you all have not met my dear friend Marnie from back home, it was a good time. We all got together. We gathered at PK's beforehand and had a few drinks and then rolled over. And man, that was a good day. That was a fun day.
It was a great day. It was way better than the day that happened a week before. Should we start there?
Oh, we should definitely start there.
We should start there.
You all, we have been through some adventures the last few weeks. It
Whether
was
we want to or not.
Yeah. Actually, Paul, I think you should tell this story because from your end, it was out of nowhere.
So 8:00-ish. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's around that.
Maybe 7:45, 8:00, somewhere around there. My phone rings and my phone comes up, Jeremy Counts. And I looked at Bridget and I'm like, Jeremy's calling me. Well, and it was a Tuesday, I believe, right? Because you were in DC, so it was a Tuesday. Because the phone rings and I look at Bridget and I go,
what's that stupid dick want?
We're not doing a podcast today. What? And so I was very confused, right? So I answer the phone. I get, hey guy, and I'm like, what's going on? He goes, I need a favor. I'm like, okay. Here's the thing. Jeremy could call me any time of the day, any day of the week. And if he says I need a favor, I'm going to drop whatever I'm doing and I'm going to go help Jeremy because that's just.
Yes, believe it or not, people, Paul is a good friend.
He is.
he's an excellent friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. He goes, I'm about an hour north of you and my tire is flat on 81. Can you come pick me up? I'm like,
yeah.
Yes, I can do that.
See, that's the funny thing about the Teslas is their tires go flat constantly. And so it's something that just pops up and you've got to deal with, and I hate it. It's the only drawback to having an electric car is it's not the charging. The charging's fine. It is the damn tires popping all of the time. So it just happened to be.
That happened to you?
That has happened a lot. It's happened to me and Emily on several trips. We've had to cancel several trips because it's just popped. And it was kind of due. It'd been like 2 years. They wear out a lot on the inside, but I was on my way to a 3-day trip to DC to go talk to lawmakers about pharmacy bills, and I'm going up, and I've got to drive through the night just so I can get some rest and get up at like 7 a.m. the next morning. And of course, it pops. Oh, there's Marnie. Tires are getting a lot more expensive too. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Like that toe and the 2 tires ended up costing me like $2,000. It sucked. Damned inflation. Shut up, Marnie, you stupid dick. Oh my God, I fell right for it. I went right into it. Oh my God, that was awful.
Oh, Marnie, I love you, man. We need to hang out more often.
That was terrible.
Yes. No, you need to take over as like a store manager here in Roanoke. You can take the Valley View Walmart.
Why would he do that when he is like he's got it made in Bentonville doing executive training? Marnie hangs out with billionaires. It's insane.
He pees next to people worth like $12 billion. So
it's true.
Yeah. He wouldn't cross the streams though with Marnie, is my understanding.
No, they draw some lines.
Yeah.
No, even with Marnie, who's gregarious and lovable.
He is. Those are good terms for him. So I say to Bridget, I'm like, Jeremy's broke down. And she's like, where? And I said, apparently a Shell station in Arcadia. And Bridget, of course, goes, oh, I know where that is. And I'm like, I have a pretty good idea where it is. So I plug it into my GPS and I'm like, it's going to take me 45 minutes to get there. So I throw on some Creed, Nickelback, and Morgan Wallen, like the greatest hits of our generation. And I head up the freeway. Luckily, there was no real traffic, so I didn't have any issues. I think I got there in less than 45 minutes. But sure enough, there's the Tesla with Jeremy and all of his clothes. I will say this. And people. I don't know without a visual if people will understand where I'm coming from. But let me just say this: there was a lot of brown leather. A lot, like.
My bag is brown leather. That was the only brown leather.
No, your bag was brown leather. You had like a little case there was a lot of
my toiletry bag.
There was an inordinate amount of brown leather. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know what kind of Bill Clinton, Donald Trump party you were going to there, but it was just a lot of brown leather. And I'm curious, but I don't want to get into that. That seems like a different day, a podcast for a different day.
Well, it was a hotel full of angry pharmacists, so it was a good time. Yeah.
Did they all have is brown leather your thing? Is that like a pharmacist thing?
No, it's just a me thing. I like leather, Paul.
It's an extreme amount of brown leather. I don't know. There was like a briefcase that was brown leather. There was a duffel bag, I think. Maybe like they're just brown leather just kept getting loaded. And I have a good sized pickup truck, and brown leather just kept getting loaded into the back seat of my pickup truck. Like I was moderately aroused, honestly.
I don't blame you. It looks and it smells fantastic. Yeah. But I mean, I couldn't have picked a better station to like be broken down at. Not because it was like a super convenient place or whatever. The guy there that was working there was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like
he was.
I went in and I was like, oh man, my tire popped. And he's just like, that fucking sucks, brother. I was like, I like you. I like you a lot.
Yeah.
He was cool as hell. I was like, what should I do? Like, do you know any like tow people or whatever? He's just like, man, just try to plug it, ride it around a little bit, put some more air in it. You'll be good. No, that never works. Not with these tires. When they wear down, it's done. Like, don't buy those air pressure kits.
Yeah, very low profile on those tires. So we decide that we're going to the airport because apparently Jeremy has rented himself a Nissan Altima or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was the most basic car you can get.
Yeah. You go from self-driving Tesla to now, if you go over 65 miles per hour, there's a chance the tire might fall off. So good life choices by you, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I bought the Tesla when I still made some money because all pharmacists are poor now. But it has spoiled me when it comes to trips because you just put on the fucking self-driving and you're more like a captain, telling the ship where to go instead of the helmsman on the actual wheel. And that really helps with not being so damn tired when you get there.
Sure.
And so I've been spoiled.
Have you ever had any sort of close call with that? Because I drive everywhere. I joke around. My day at work is 6 hours of driving, 2 hours of work, and I'm done for the day. And of course, I drive a pickup truck that is not self-driving. Do you do you have close calls, or is it really, really safe?
We're gonna call this the geezer rant. It's actually, if you're doing it right, it's safe as hell. You can't just set it on and just let it go. You've got to monitor it. It actually has cameras. If you turn your eyes away for too long, it will yell at you.
Really?
And it will full on blink and take it off self-driving if you don't pay attention. So it actually makes you pay more attention a lot of times. So you've got to have your eyes on the road and give feedback to the wheel while you're going. Your Tesla was God, Marnie, that was awful. Do you just wait for these things to happen? I don't know how he does it. For those listening on the podcast later, Marnie said, your Tesla wasn't tired because I got a flat tire. Thank you, Marnie.
I hate you, Marnie.
Paul and Marnie live to just irritate the life out of me, and they think it's hilarious. Because, I'm sure it is.
Yes.
I'm sure it is.
100%.
No, that's, Paul, you are the only person I've met in my life who gets more joy out of irritating me than Marnie does.
Marnie and I are kindred spirits.
You really are. I was glad you all got to meet, but I was also horrified by the entire thing.
Both being big fans of the Honeacre Tigers,
Jesus Christ.
We get each other. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm having a God. Come on, Marnie. That wasn't even a good one. Jesus.
Oh man, that is fantastic, Marnie.
But yes, Paul saved my ass yet again. He saved my ass many a time, but he definitely saved my ass then because it was either Paul come gets me, or I've got to take a get an Uber back from the middle of nowhere, or Emily would have had to come get me with the baby, and I didn't want that to happen.
I wasn't letting that happen, no matter what. So, long story short, got to the airport. Jeremy got his rental car. Instead of just doing what we need to do, transferring all of the brown leather from my truck into his rental car, he decides to take me to the mall parking lot at 10 o'clock at night, which... Yeah, good times.
What was the name of the restaurant we parked in?
Oh shoot! It's Skechers, Snatchers, Stickler,
Shakers, I think.
Shakers, yeah, Shakers, yeah.
Paul was scared to death someone was going to pull out a gun and dick us down in the Shakers parking lot.
I was. Listen,
there were people around, Paul. It wasn't super late. Okay. He was squirrely with that one.
We could have just stayed in the parking lot of the airport. It wouldn't have been an issue. Quickly got everything loaded into the car and gone our separate ways. No, we go to the mall parking lot after 10 o'clock. Luckily, the lights were still on. So that's
listen, the Roanoke youths, they're chill. All right? They're chill. They're probably listeners.
Okay.
We love the Roanoke youths. They're awesome.
Okay.
No.
I got home safe and you got to DC safe, and that was what mattered.
I didn't even know where we were going. I was just like, all right, here's the parking lot. And Paul was like, oh, I guess we're going to get robbed tonight.
That's what I said too. too. I'm like, could you have picked a worse spot to do this? And he's like, why? Like, okay, all right.
I didn't know where we were.
I'll stand guard. You get shit out of my truck. Let's go. Go fast.
I mean, even in my head, I didn't realize the mall was that close to the airport.
Yeah, it's not far at all. Not far at all.
But yeah, Paul saved my ass, and I got to DC okay and back okay, and it worked out. And I finally got a sticker on my Tesla, an inspection sticker. I was still rolling around with a 2023 inspection sticker. Not Dick. Ryan says, not Dick you guys down in the parking lot. Good times.
Trust me, Ryan. It was, luckily, there was nobody around, so it was fine. But yeah, it was one of those, like, I don't know, there's just certain places that I wouldn't advise hanging out after dark. Well, not even after dark, just like after close, because it was Tuesday, right? So like everything was closed around there. Shakers was empty, Red Robin was empty, the mall parking lot was empty. I don't think anything was
listen,
Dick's,
listen.
So,
all the best things happen in empty mall parking lots after hours. Okay, Back to the Future Part 1. None of that would have happened if they wouldn't have had the empty mall parking lot. Okay, I was setting us up for a fucking adventure.
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. No problem.
Got plutonium.
We got safe. We got out safe. I made it home. That's all that matters.
Every time I watch it now, like they load Doc Brown up, like with, they bring out an automatic weapon and like go at him, and that little bulletproof vest saves him. Like they weren't going to like shoot him in the head. He's like, this is my big plan. Not avoiding this, or maybe not making a deal with terrorists.
Right.
But I'm going to wear a bulletproof vest.
I'm going to wear a bulletproof vest. Hey, listen, everybody knows a bulletproof vest is good against an AR or an AK-47.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows that. It's fine. It's safe. So fast forward a couple of weeks, and we have Metallica, and the entire...
This is our vibe check.
Yeah, the entire...
Because Blacksburg had some good vibes.
Oh, man. I haven't felt that in Blacksburg in a long time. Like, maybe the first season under Justin Fuente was the last time you kind of felt that buzz in Blacksburg.
Yeah.
But
people were wrapped around the Metallica pop-up store for 2 days. Kent Square was booming over there. And they were lining up like hours before it even opened every day. It was insane. And just for some T-shirts, you can get T-shirts anywhere. But no. Yeah. They were doing it, man.
It was
they were cool. Not messing around.
I was there both Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesday. The day before the concert and the day of the concert. And yeah, every time I drove by there was tons. Yeah, like you say, I mean, it was all the way down the block. People just lined up. So it was definitely a good time. The concert was amazing. The only thing that really bummed me out, and this might also be a little bit of a geezer rant, but this is towards people that are my generation that now have kids that are at Virginia Tech, right? So I turned 50 this past weekend. And so if I were to have reproduced, I would, my kids would be of the age of college, maybe a little bit older. But regardless, the fact that you parents out there have not taught your kids more about Metallica and their music is a travesty. Like what? hearing the youth of Virginia Tech talking about how I don't really know any of their songs except for Enter the Sandman. Yeah. Enter the Sandman is the name of the song. Enter the Sandman is a really, really graphic movie. Yes, you don't. Yeah. Spoiler alert, everyone enters from behind. So yeah, it was a little unnerving, that you would think as parents, they would be like, listen, if you're going to go to Virginia Tech, you need to know Enter Sandman. However, you also need to know we need to listen to Ride the Lightning. We need to listen to Master of Puppets. We need to listen to the entire Black Album. Even though people don't necessarily like the Black Album, I personally love the Black Album. Load, Reload. We need to listen to all of these albums. Like, you need to understand.
Be careful, Paul. You start getting into the Load, Reload era, people are going to start having opinions.
I love Load and Reload. I do. Then again, like, I don't, I think,
he loves all the loads, Paul does.
I love all the loads, all the reloads. Oh, Marnie, I'm not even putting that one up. No, I refuse. Like, just like when they played one, like the fact that
Chris, I'm actually going to push back on this.
Yeah,
believe it or not, like there was a lot of crowd participation where they knew the songs.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you hear it in the videos, it's harder to hear in the stands, but there was a lot of crowd participation.
Yeah.
Like more than I thought there'd be, just because that's an interesting crowd. Because I mean, it was people of all ages. It was insane.
I would say the first 4 songs, there were a couple that were a little bit iffy. There are a couple songs in the first 4 that I don't think I knew, because I think they're newer songs. But kind of once they got into the 5th song in the set, and I don't have the set list in front of me. I could look it up if you want me to, Jeremy.
No. I mean, they started off with Creeping Death. They played a lot of old stuff. Like, they only did a few songs that I would consider newer.
I thought like the 2nd and 3rd song were new.
Yeah, they did one of their newer songs, 2nd or 3rd. But I mean, like one of their newer songs, which is like 10 years old at this point, and I consider it newer. Like The Day That Never Comes, that was one of their best ones they did. Like, I've always liked that song, but it's never been like stood out as a great Metallica song to me. It was phenomenal live. They did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
Like I was, yeah. But I mean, nothing's going to beat whenever they go up there and play fucking One. Like that's my favorite Metallica song of all time. One was incredible.
I agree.
One was great. Master of Puppets was excellent. Of course, Enter Sandman was like next level. That was insane. But it was good. They went up there and they played a lot of their old stuff, and
they played for
that makes me happy.
Yeah. They played for over 2 hours, so that was pretty freaking cool. With very minimal pauses, like they had to wait for the drum kit to go down and come back up. Well, different drum kits, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to wait for that to happen on the round stage. But I mean, other than that, like, there were not a lot of pauses, and even in those pauses, they found a way to kind of entertain. There was the jam off where they just played bass and guitar, and there was no drums or singing, and they were just kind of jamming. That I thought that was pretty cool. That was a fun little segment there too.
Yeah. I can't believe that they are incredibly old. Like. Yeah. And they can do that. We were tired just standing there for that long, and they were just all over the place. But I mean, these people are legends.
As we were leaving, Jeremy and I were complaining about how like our backs and hips hurt because
my toes hurt. It was awful.
Yeah, I kept making sure that like I was bending my knees while we were standing there. I just wasn't standing there with my knees locked out because I knew I would be in pain trying to walk back to the truck if I didn't. So
and you also may have passed out.
Yeah, it's true. But you would have given me mouth to mouth or something.
I would have. It would have been very sexy. I would have tore my shirt a little bit. It would have been great.
Oh, yeah, would have been good. I don't know why you tore your shirt, but I would appreciate you doing it. So.
I need to. Like, my chest needs to expand. Yeah. Got to bring down a few buttons.
The fact that there were at times, I mean, not at times, there were 3 generations of people in that stadium jamming out to Metallica was pretty freaking cool, because there were people that were older than me by quite a bit, actually, that were there. And, there was people my age there. I mean, you had everything. I would say, I don't know if there was anyone 70 there, but you had, mid to late 60s all the way down to, kids. People had their kids there, which I thought was freaking awesome.
Donovan brought his kids.
Right. Yeah, like that. Donovan is doing parenting right.
Yes, he brought his kids. He's raised his kids to like good music, and that was pretty cool. Also, I mean, I thought it was cool that Pantera was playing with Zakk Wylde. Like that. That was insane.
I said, so I have a good friend back home who's a guitar player. We grew up together, and I actually took a picture of Zach Wild and texted it to him. And he works shift work at Auto Factory in Michigan, so he didn't respond to me till the morning. And he responded. He goes, "Is that fucking Zach Wild?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Where the fuck were you last night?" So I had to tell him the whole story, and he's like, "That's cool, man." I was like, yeah, it is for sure.
Hey, we're on to Hokie High, sponsored by Bear Dance Hip. And I'm going to tell you, one really high point was hearing Pantera songs with 500 extra harmonics because Zach Wild was playing guitar for them.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know harmonics are where they make the guitar go, woo. Mm-hmm. Like it's not a normal note. And Ted, Zach Wild is so famous because he is just really, really good at it. It takes a lot of finesse to like pull off a harmonic the way he does, and he just throws them in like it's normal. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah,
he was also trashed, and he played awesome.
The other Hokie high was all of the marijuana I smelled at the venue. There was
quite a bit.
Much marijuana. Yeah, I haven't smelled that much at Lane Stadium ever. Not since Marcus Vick was playing. So that's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, you really don't smell a lot of pot at Lane, but it was flowing. It was your typical show.
So my question for you is this: this was a colossal success, right?
Yeah.
So who comes next? Because it was always, we can't do this. We can't pull this off. We can't do it. It's not going to work. The field isn't designed to hold that many people. The stage weight, all of this. Well, now we've seen you absolutely can do this. You can make this happen.
There's very, very few bands that can sell out arenas like that, Paul.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And that's in populated areas. This was just a really special event. You can't just willy-nilly put on a show like that and bring in somebody and think they're going to sell. REO Speedwagon's great. You bring in REO Speedwagon, they're not going to sell out Lane Stadium.
Lane Stadium. No. No.
Yeah, so it takes big acts to do that. And then you got to find the big acts that are willing to actually come down into Blacksburg and do that, because we're not that far off of 81, but as far as from a airport, they can
land at the Virginia Tech airport.
Possibly. That's kind of a small airport.
I mean, they're not flying commercial. They're flying on a private jet. You can absolutely, I've seen nice private jets take off out of Blacksburg Airport after a football game. You can absolutely land a legit band,
I'm trying to think of people who would sell that out. It'd have to be Garth Brooks has come out of retirement. It's hard to sell that many tickets. Especially if it's the right person, but it's hard to sell that many tickets in a city, Paul. It's really hard to bring all this together.
I believe because of the location. And the people in the surrounding, you got to remember, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, Radford, Montgomery County, that area has a bigger population now than Roanoke County. They have surpassed Roanoke County in population size. So and then you add in Roanoke County, because if I'm going to go to a show like this, a drive up 81 is no big deal for me, right?
Yeah.
I think you can't do it it can't be a quarterly thing. Right? It's got to be once a year.
Once a year, maybe.
While the students are still here, this general time frame, right? The beginning of May or the end of April, because you got to have the weather. The weather has to cooperate too. But I think if you did it on a yearly basis with some sort of big name, I think you can sell out Lane Stadium. Maybe not 100%. Maybe not. You aren't going to have 70,000 people with 3,000 in the parking lot. But I think you can put.
Paul, this was over 100,000 people in this place. That's a lot of tickets to sell.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, you've also got to hit that niche enough to where you're going to get people coming. So it's even if you brought in fucking Post Malone or something, I don't think he sells that out. Fuck you, Marnie. Creed wouldn't sell that out.
I think
ridiculous. No, but you bring in like a Taylor Swift or something. Yeah, it'll probably sell out just because everyone will go. But that's going to be much harder to bring in.
I mean,
Chris said they marketed it for a very long time, much longer than most shows I've ever seen. If I'm not mistaken, the Lane Show was announced before the tour announcement. Yeah, they marketed it, but the marketing didn't matter, Chris, because it sold out in a couple of hours.
You could have started selling tickets to this show on May 1st, and you would have had the same result.
Yeah.
The result would have been the same.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the anticipation building up to it, right? Like us talking about it, amongst ourselves, and people talking about it. And are you going to Metallica? Those conversations probably wouldn't happen as much as they did. But
that is all anyone talked about for weeks. Yeah. Which brings us to our defining example, sponsored by Shine Time Mobile Detailing.
Oh.
Our defining example of what it means to be Hokie is James fucking Hetfield, because he was awesome. He plays a crowd better than most any front man I've ever seen in my life. Like he messes with people. He does the entire, we're all part of a family. You're my friends. You guys suck. Go get it. Oh, I'm joking. I love you. He's really, really good at playing it. And he didn't do it this time, but he's notorious for just messing with people while he's on stage. Yeah. Like he'll get down and play a solo or whatever. And one of my favorite videos is you had stage security that was just standing there, and he would tap them on the shoulder, and they'd look behind him, and he'd just be back to playing or whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, he's just a fun guy. And no, Marnie, don't make a mushroom joke.
Marnie, I was waiting for a Marnie mushroom joke.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He'll drop another mushroom joke, and it won't be that one.
That'll be fine.
Just watch him. I know this man.
I think if you pick, and then, so here's the other side to it, right? If you get that momentum going, it would be something that I think people would get excited about. So Metallica just played, right? If we knew that next beginning of May, end of April, we were getting another show like that, even if we didn't know who it was, you would hear, there would be buzz, right? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? People would start speculating, right? You mentioned Taylor Swift. Well, let's check Taylor Swift. Is she touring next year? Does she come near this area at that time? You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
I don't even know if she would have sold out as quick. She'd sell out just because she's got 5 billion fans, but Metallica was just that was something. Oh, yeah.
I would venture to guess, and I'm just speculating here, but I would venture to guess that probably 75% of the people in that stadium were from Southwest Virginia. That was not a show people were traveling. Even North Carolina, I don't know that there were many people that came from North Carolina to go to that show. I think that the vast majority of the people were from Roanoke, do a circle around Blacksburg, kind of from Roanoke and that outside area. You didn't see a lot of out of state plates in the parking lots.
No, you didn't.
You know what I mean? So I really think that this show drew people from here to Blacksburg for the show. And obviously, you had Virginia Beach people from Northern Virginia, because they're Hokies that came back down for this. But yeah,
I'm telling you, Paul, I really think this is lightning in a bottle. As much as I'd like to see this be a thing yearly, I think this is lightning in a bottle. It's hard to do. I think Kurt Cobain could come back from life, and they would have the first zombie Nirvana show ever. Yeah. And it still wouldn't draw this kind of a crowd. This is really lightning in a bottle. It's hard to sell that many tickets.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know. I think they try it again.
I want to see them try it again. I do. I want to see them try it again.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's got to be the right show. And maybe, maybe it's something where you mentioned Post Malone. Maybe it's Post Malone. And so, I know this will rub you the wrong way, but Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, right? Where you kind of draw from two, not necessarily different genres, but you pull from two distinct fan bases.
I feel for that kind of thing, you would have to do a music festival. And that's really hard to do. But I think it is doable in Blacksburg. And I think you could do a 2-stage music festival in Lane Stadium.
Yeah.
if you wanted to do something like that. The problem is the locals would go absolutely ape shit if there was a multi-day music festival in Lane Stadium. That is.
So here's a question for you, because you do deal with an older demographic in your business.
Not really.
Did you get any complaints? Did you hear of anyone coming in going, that was too loud last night in my little neighborhood in Blacksburg?
No, most everyone was really enthusiastic about it. Okay. I only heard one person complain before the show, and they still thought it was a hoax. So, yeah, I know.
They probably also think the earth is flat and we didn't land on the moon, paging Nathan Brennan.
Yeah. It's just so wild because that rumor, it spread every year just to mess with like all the new freshmen that Metallica was going to come play the opener, and that would spread every year. And finally, we got them in the Lane Stadium. So I'm glad we could at least do that. Freshman year, Jeremy's very happy. Now Jeremy's very happy.
Now Jeremy's very happy. Exactly. No, it was a great show. Shout out to everyone that showed up and showed out, man, because tickets weren't cheap, right? Like that was people spent a good chunk of money on that. Now the question, I guess, is, and this is maybe a discussion that we have on a future show in the summer, is how does Virginia Tech use their portion of the revenue? Because they got revenue from that, right? Like they made money off of that show. How does Virginia Tech use that revenue to better our athletic programs? Because that's exactly where that money needs to go.
Buy some more linemen.
Yeah, well, I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, buy more linemen.
I mean,
simple as that.
Yeah.
You want our football team to be better? Own the trenches.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want to see every single dime of the money we made off of Metallica going into the trenches on offense and defense. Control the line, control the game. If you control the line that much, doesn't matter how good the running back is. Yeah. They might have a great passing game, but if he can't throw the ball, who cares? Own the trenches. That's all I care about. Once we start owning the trenches and we really take control of that again, then I'll start worrying about, we need, some more things happening at skill position. Right now, throw all the money into the line. All of it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
You look at successful programs, whether it be in the NCAA or even the NFL, like they build from the inside out, right?
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter who you draft as a quarterback in the NFL, or if you get the number one rated quarterback in any recruiting class, if that individual is laying on his back looking up at the ceiling or the sky, he ain't gonna do shit for you. So
no, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like Paul, in the 90s, you and I both could have been like Hall of Fame running backs behind the Dallas Cowboys line.
Yeah.
Like the game changed a little bit. We want passing and we want all these superstars, but not so much in college. You own that line, you can play, especially here in the ACC. Like on the line, we're going to win.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you totally. I don't hate the idea of spending every dime of that on offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Put it into the NIL. I guess there's been some rumblings that the NCAA is going to just let the schools start paying the athletes, so we don't have to go through the NIL stuff. I'll be interested to see if that is actually a thing or how that plays out. Because at that point, then I think there's going to be.
In Virginia, we pretty much made that law to make that okay to do.
Yeah.
The school can fund the NIL. It's a way around it.
Yeah, the only issue, I guess, that I foresee is that if you become a quote-unquote employee of the university through the NIL money, is like, do they have to offer benefits and shit like that? Like, there's
who cares? We got to give them insurance anyway, Paul.
Well, I understand that, but like, yeah, I think that there's more to it.
Do they get benefits now? Oh, no, we weren't going to pay health insurance for our athletes.
Hey,
what's that matter?
Listen, as a business owner, like that shit can be a slippery slope if you don't do it right. So, like, there's another doggy barking out there. Do you want to go check on that? Go see if the house needs to be protected?
Igor, go save your whole family from the evil dog outside.
You got to go protect Mama? No?
Nah, he's good.
Okay. Oh, God, there he goes. Oh, he scratched my inner thigh. Ouch.
You got it good.
Oh.
Laid it open.
Fuck. Good boy. No, I don't want you now. Get out of here. Go protect your mom. Go tell your mom she wants you. Go tell your mom she wants you. Good boy. Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting. I look forward to seeing where this goes. I don't know if there's any good offensive linemen available anymore, though. That's the other issue that we run.
There's absolutely none available anymore.
No,
but we can apply it to next year. To me, this year, let's see what our new offensive line coach has done. Yeah. And if I see that line perform the way I want, I'm going to be pretty happy.
Yeah, I believe he has. I do believe that is an upgrade at that position as far as coaching is concerned. So
yeah,
I like what they've done so far. I like the guys that they brought in from West Virginia. This is like about a good 2.5-inch scratch on my thigh.
Yes, and this is where we are now. We're celebrating that we got West Virginia's offensive line.
Do you want me to stand up and show you this on camera?
Please don't. No. No one wants to see the scratch on the inside of your thigh.
I will only do it if Marnie requests it.
If Marnie requests it, you will show off that incredibly pale inner thigh.
It's not that bad. I've been playing some golf. Although up there where he got me, it is a little bit pasty, but the rest doesn't look bad.
It just makes the highlight better. It's better that way, Paul.
That's fair.
Now, Paul, I'm going to ask you right now.
All right,
out of all the legends that we witnessed this week, who to you gets the rock hard player of the week?
Oh, this is easy for me. And I may be a little bit biased here on this one, but this is easy for me. Rock hard player of the week goes to none other than my co-host, Lord Dr. Jeremy Counts. Because
we can't award it to us.
No, we absolutely can't.
We made that rule because I would be awarding it to myself too much.
Well, I know, but I'm awarding it to you because you bought my ticket to the Metallica concert. And
I did.
I
bought
the
ticket.
Metallica with you because you paid for the ticket. So I award you, sir, the rock hard. You don't even need to buy the Viagra. You just go take it and pop it in your pocket and go home and be like, Emily, we're doing it tonight.
No, that's not how any of that happens.
That's what I envision. I envision you kick it, you pull it in the Tesla, you kick the door open, and you go, Emily, I got the pill. We're doing it tonight.
That is not how any of that happens.
No,
but I appreciate you.
Making a baby.
Oh, God. The one is enough. My sweet angel.
Yeah.
She requires a lot of attention to remain this sweet because she's got the devil of both of us in her.
That's fair. Marnie, I did not have to call it any bigger than 2.5 inches.
I'm surprised you didn't call it 2.5 inch scratch 6 inches.
It might be. It's pretty long. It's long and it's strong and it's down to get the friction on.
Yeah. No. Cringe. Yes, I agree, Chris. Very cringe. No, I think the rock hard player of the week goes to Kirk Hammett because he is that old and he can still wail.
Yeah,
like he does not mess around.
Yeah. Now the question is, does Kirk Hammett need the generic Viagra from Count's Family Pharmacy? Or do you think that should still just fly? I bet you he does. They did some drugs back in the day. There's got to be some residual effects. Like in your late 60s to have done as many drugs as they did back in the day, there has to be some residual effects, right?
I don't know.
You're a doctor.
They mostly just drank a lot. I mean, yeah, it's possible. But, I mean, their biggest thing was they drank a lot. Like, Hetfield, he's, like, sober now because it became such a problem for him. Like, Saint Anger was a terrible, terrible album, but it saved that band from breaking up because it was when Hetfield started getting help with his alcohol problems.
Right.
Yeah. Not to get too off track and depressing, but
that's okay. Hey, look, it's things we need to talk about, right? If you're having problems with alcohol, my suggestion would be to go see Chris over at Bear Dent's Hemp Company, and he'll take care of you.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm being attacked by a puppy right now. This is dangerous.
Now, that's the weird thing is like, since a child, I slowed down on drinking so much. Like, I lost a ton of weight. I feel much better every day. Like, I didn't realize how bad I was as far as like, it's not like I was like a drunk all the time, but I was just going way too hard on the weekends. And now I'm like, I just have a few and I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
It was nice.
Exactly.
It's nice now. I can have like 4 IPAs and I'm like, all right, you're good for the night, Jeremy. I don't have to, have a 12 pack or drain an entire fifth of Jameson anymore just to feel feelings.
Last week was a little rough for me. 1995, Paul Van Wagner came back to visit. I had a buddy in town Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we drank. Wednesday was the concert. So we drank. Thursday was golf league. So we drank. Man. Friday was the day before my birthday. So we drank. Saturday was my birthday. So as you can imagine, we drank. So Sunday, I was like, all right.
Paul, you're just tempting fate at that point. Like, you are like, you do that many days in a row, you're just asking to just like hate your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't do it anymore.
So the good news for me is in my old age, I have figured out that if I go to a certain point and stop. So like Wednesday's a good example. Like when we got to Champ Sports Bar at around 2. I drank till like 6. When I got to the concert, there were 2 Zach Wilds on stage. By the time
I could tell you were talking to everyone we crossed. Yeah. I was like, Paul, let's go to the show. Stop talking to these people.
Yeah. By the time Metallica came on, I had dropped down and I was good. But like, and then by the time they got off stage, I was like, well, I'm fine. I'm not even, like the effects of everything I had have wore off on me now because it was.
Man, you were making Drew nervous. You were just talking to people. Drew was like, oh God. Because you were just talking to people. Like,
people. That's what I do.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Paul, we have to go. Please do not discuss whatever you want to discuss with these random people that we do not know.
Listen,
but you insisted.
I run into people.
This man makes friends everywhere he goes.
I do. You think I'm bad? You got to go somewhere with Bridget.
Yeah.
Bridget's worse.
See, when I've got somewhere to be, I'm a man on a mission. I might stop to say hello for a second, but I'm not one to linger, especially with strangers.
She makes friends in the bathroom. She makes friends at the bar. She makes friends at the restaurant. Like, it doesn't matter. She's friendly.
I could see that. Bridget's awesome. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
You think I'm not. She's way better at it than I am.
See, to me, if someone comes up to me and like they recognize me from something, yeah, I'll talk to them. But if it's like,
oh God, you're the Jeremy Counts that they make fun of.
Yeah, exactly. You're that guy that everyone hates. Yeah, that's me. Want to be my friend? I don't have any friends.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's my entire thing is like, if we got something to talk about, yeah, but I don't go out of my way to just like make conversation with people. I talk to people all the time on all day in so many different ways that I'm just like, after work, I'm done.
It's all my years in radio. Like, it's just one of those things that I can't. And now I'm in sales for a different, for the Southern Roofing and Restoration. So I talk to people all day. Like, I actually totally enjoy just talking to people. So,
yeah. Well, I do whenever there's something to talk about. But if it's like someone random, and I make fun of my dear friend Andrew all the time for this, Midwesterners cannot help themselves. Anytime you're doing anything, they have to talk about the weather, and it kills me because I hate small talk, chit chat bullshit. And all they talk about is the weather all the time.
Yeah, Marty,
my Minnesota people, I love you. Like, but you snow hicks need to stop talking about the weather all the time.
That's because we have to deal with it all the time. You don't understand if you don't ever have to deal with it. Marty, yes, I had a can of the Bland County water, and then some, I don't know, Karen or whatever kicked it over, and then my water was empty, and I went back to get another water, and I couldn't get in line because I didn't know where they ended. That is my one complaint. And that's kind of a complaint about Lane Stadium in general is when it's
you don't know where lines start.
Well, it's hard to tell where the food line and the water line and the beer line ends and the bathroom line begins. They kind of just meld together in this weird, and like you kind of just fit yourself in. But I didn't want to be that guy that was just like, fuck, I'm merging into line. Fuck you, Teresa. I'm just here
Teresa.
now. I don't know. Yeah,
Teresa's a lovely lady. I don't know why you're like shit talking her.
Well, and that's no, I'm not. And that's why I did what I did. As I didn't just. So I went to go look for water, and then by the time I realized that it was going to be too much of a hassle, I was just like, fuck it. I'll be fine. So I went back to Count's Family Pharmacy and got a Diet Coca-Cola in a glass bottle. Oh, it was amazing. And I peed.
Yeah.
In the employee's bathroom.
Yeah. We did a fun pee break before everyone had to go home.
Yep.
It was a little party with our glass bottle Cokes and urination.
Yes. It was a good time.
Yeah. It was good seeing everyone again, like from back home.
Yeah. Like I say, your friends from back home are pretty fucking cool. I like them.
Yeah, they're great. It's a weird dynamic back home because we all were the smart kids, but we also all like, at least most of us like played sports together too.
Right.
Because it's, kind of small town stuff. Typically, like your smart people are also your athletes, and it's a weird dynamic back home. So we have like these bonds across like 5 different ways. All right, we just been through a lot together.
Elton John.
What about Elton John?
Elton John would sell out Lane Stadium.
He would, but he just retired.
Is he done? Shut up.
Yeah, he retired. Like he did his farewell tour.
I
would have loved to see Elton John. He's one of my favorites.
20 farewell. Kiss would sell out Lane Stadium.
Yeah, Kiss might. I don't know though. Like you'd have to get.
They've got.
I don't know,
man. Kiss sold. So here's how
I think I think Kiss is just a little too old. I do think if you brought.
Kiss
it would probably have to be like a late 90s rock band. If you brought the right one, I think you could do it.
Pearl Jam?
Pearl Jam, possibly. I don't know. Pearl Jam, like, they don't have like the rabid fan base that Metallica has. They're all chill as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, you gotta hit people in them feels from back when Virginia Tech was elite as shit.
That's fair. Yeah.
And it's got to be old enough to where you're going to hit multiple generations, but not too old to where it's just like, I don't want to watch them. They're washed up. Like you can't bring ZZ Top there. They may put on a good show, but they're not going to sell out Lane Stadium.
Well, and I believe Billy Gibbons is dead.
ZZ Top still tours.
Yeah. Yeah. They have somebody else now playing, but
yeah.
It's not the same. It's like when Aerosmith tried to replace Stephen Perry. Not Steve Perry.
Steve Perry. Steve Perry.
Is it Steve Perry? No.
Yes, Steve Perry.
Steve Perry's the lead singer of Journey.
Yeah, that's Journey. That's Jerry. Oh, you're thinking Steven Tyler.
No, Steven Tyler's the lead singer. They replaced the guitar player, and why can't I think of his name? Oh my God.
I don't know, because he wasn't really that notable a guitar player. He's not that good.
No, get out of here.
He's not. That's like whenever people are talking about, the Edge from U2. Oh, he's got his signature sound. He's not a good guitar player. Like, none of what he's doing is really fucking impressive. And I'm not someone who just, like, sits around and, like, has a circle jerk over overly technical guitar stuff. Well, not anymore. I used to. But no, it's just like, he's hitting 3 notes.
Joe Perry.
Joe Perry. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you were confusing me with Steve Perry. I thought you were just talking Journey.
Journey.
Got confused.
Yeah. Matt McMurray would buy, if Journey came, Matt McMurray would buy every ticket. And just so they had to play at a sold out empty stadium. Matt McMurray hates Journey.
I love how Matt McMurray is just like his music taste is all just like straight hip hop. Like it's so wild.
He loves himself some white rappers. Like if you
He
can
does.
find a white rapper.
Oh man, what was the fucking guy? Snow, who sang Informer? Informer.
Yeah.
That one.
I would have loved that. Yeah. He probably like
Matt McMurray.
Too. Oh, God love him.
Matt McMurray. Snow would sell out.
Does he have? Marty, we already did this. I figured it out. I Googled it. Thank you, Marty.
Oh.
We should end this. Jesus Christ.
We should,
I can't believe this many people actually really listen to this. But
I know. I mean, we're entertaining people, Paul.
We are.
Also, Matt McMurray loves Rage Against the Machine, and I listened to Rage Against the Machine before, like every single one of my live shows.
Like Rage?
Yeah,
because I tell everyone Matt McMurray loves Journey, but he fucking hates Journey.
No, I'm pretty sure that was a conversation at some point. Was he likes Rage Against the Machine?
I know that he doesn't like any of like the 90s and 80s rock bands, like Journey. He hates Kansas. He doesn't.
How do you hate Kansas?
I don't know. He doesn't.
Dust in the Wind, like what?
Yeah, I know. Listen, you're preaching to the choir. I don't even think he likes Aerosmith.
Nothing lasts forever except the earth and sky.
You hit that note. I'm impressed.
It's lips away.
I can nail it.
You can do something with it. That's for sure.
I'm a precious boy, Paul.
You are.
All right, hey everyone. Who here wants actual sports analysis?
Nah.
Go watch Boundary Corner.
Boundary Corner starts in like 4 minutes. So, what did I just say? Not Journey. Oh my God.
Kansas?
I just drew a blank. No, I just mentioned a band. Shit. Anyway, never mind. Go back and rewind it and listen. I said it once and now I can't remember what the hell I said.
Well, it's sad. I mostly just know Disney songs at this point.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Fleetwood Mac. That's what I was getting. Fleetwood
Mac would be great.
Fleetwood Mac might sell out.
The thing about Fleetwood Mac is like every time I hear anything about Stevie Nicks, I think of the South Park episode. Every single time. Where they found the goat and they thought it was Stevie Nicks. Meh, because she sings with that vibrato in her voice. Right. Oh, that was beautiful, Miss Nicks. Every single time. That's what I think of.
That's fair. I can see that. Oh, shit. All right.
Well,
I would go watch the last of the Tigers game. It's the bottom of the 7th. So, Boundary Corner.
Yeah. Go watch Boundary Corner. Everyone, we love you. This has been another episode of Blacksburg on the Rocks.